Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jay Choi, and I will be briefing you on a company called General Mills. I'll take you through an overview of the company. I'll walk you through some of the financials, and talk through their strategy as they navigate through the current market conditions. Wanted to present this graphic to you all, and I think this really shows who General Mills is. Maybe you're familiar with some of these brands. I personally am very familiar with Haagen-Dazs, but General Mills has about 100 brands in 100 different countries. Um, Fairly big company, market cap of about $40 billion. Um, they trade anywhere, typically 70, $72. And they have a P/E ratio of about 16 and some change. It's a bit lower than the S&P 500, but compared to their within their industry, it's very fairly strong. Like I said, General Mills is large and in charge. They're a large food and pet manufacturing company. Have about or over 25 major manufacturing plants across North America. Yeah, like I said, they have 100 brands in 100 different countries, and that's spanning throughout 6 continents. And yeah, a large workforce of 9,000 employees, and those are people from the factory floor all the way up to the C-suite. Um, just in just to get into the financials, I'd say General Mills is very strong and balanced. You could see compared to their industry, a strong year-over-year revenue growth. That is a mix of volume and price. I'd say a lot of that revenue growth is coming from price. They've been able to do a great job with price increases year over year to mitigate inflation. Um, but we're seeing, compared to their industry, some solid growth. Their operations are very lean. You can see how they're controlling their costs, as we see from as a their expenses as a percent of net sales in 23, they're about 15%, very strong compared to their competitors. And solid EBIT margins, floating anywhere from 18 to 19% for the past 4 years, I'd say is very profitable and strong. As far as, looking at their competitors and looking at some of the ratios to benchmark General Mills to the others, I did throw on Conagra here as a very close competitor of General Mills and Kerry Food Group. They operate a bit differently. More of their focus is on Europe, but I think it's important to place these companies next to General Mills to see how General Mills really does. Um, like I was saying, their P ratio is a little lower than the S&P, but I'd say it's strong for their industry. They are levered a fair amount, but I think that's okay. Their leverage, they hold on to debt really for their expansion efforts, opening up more manufacturing plants, going out for brand acquisitions, and but that's okay. We're seeing strong profitability here. You see some of the ratios down at the bottom on how they're almost 2x than their competitors. So in 2021, CEO of General Mills released their new strategy, he named it Accelerate Strategy, and this was supposed to go through 2024. And the reason for this new strategy was to continue to push for success, growing the top line, controlling costs. Um, yeah, and so the other main reason for this strategy was to mitigate some of these to fight changing food trends. The market is very tumultuous, the consumer market, different food brands coming up. Inflation's also really rough on consumers as of late. And so their new strategy was to push for automations in their plants and really do less with more. You see on the return on assets and dating back to 22 when a lot of the strategy was implemented. Um, they're doing very well compared to their competitors. It seems like their strategy has been implemented and will continue to um, work these initiatives. And they're also pushing for, brand development through acquisition. They did acquire a pet food company this past year, and set to acquire a couple more targets in this next year. Um, so yeah, General Mills is going through a very exciting time with this new strategy, and it's very interesting to see how they will continue out through changing food trends and inflation. Thanks for your time.